I'm at one of the great short walks in Tasmania, Meander Falls. I'm going to attempt to do the up to Meander Falls across the excuse me, across the Scree Boulder Field and back down Split Rocks track. I've heard it can be a bit difficult, but I'm just going to take it as it comes, and if it gets too difficult I'll turn around and come back. So it's a little bit of a dark morning, but I stopped at Westbury, managed to get an amazing sunrise. So I sat there and watched that and enjoyed it, because I don't know, I've been finding that everything's just going too fast lately. Life is too fast. So you can hear the river quite loud. The track generally follows the river most of the way along. It did say that to allow 6 hours, but I think the way that I'm going to do it is probably, if it turns out that I do it that way, probably going to be slightly longer. So I started walking at 8, so it'll be interesting to see what time I finish up. Oops, there's some mountains up through there. There's some glorious scenery through here. It's an interesting rainforest. I haven't sort of come across any little flowers or fungi or anything like that yet. The track so far has been really good. Nice and easy to follow. There's red track markers along the way, one of which we're coming up to. And then they're yellow on the way back down if you come back the same way. I did have to take my jacket off quite quickly, because it got very warm very quickly. So there's a bit of a split in the track here, which is interesting. Looking out for a red marker, because one goes down and one goes very, very much up. This is where this sort of stuff becomes fun. Alright, I'm going to go this way, see if there's a red marker up here. Oh, it's pretty steep. I'm wondering if it's because it goes around a big tree that's fallen. Or this could potentially be Dixon's track. Right, I'm gonna go back down this way. There's a lot of footprints sort of going in all directions. Oh, fuck. Oh, that hurt. God damn it. And that is how easily that can happen. Oh, I should just put the camera away. Pretty sure there's skin missing off the back of my leg. Take 5. Whew. Okay, that's gonna hurt tomorrow, but I think I'm okay. I did pull my arm. That wasn't pleasant. I literally would have been better just climbing under the log. So it turns out I was actually going the right way after all that. I went back down for no reason. I should have just kept going up. And then I would have seen another red marker, but the red marker wasn't for... It's another 5 or 10 meters above that little uphill part, so I reckon that other track probably just goes down to the river or something, I don't know. There's so much different flora. It's very pretty. I can't wait for the sun to come over. Hopefully by the time I get to the falls, it'll be up above me. It's the description of the track is quite accurate in saying that it's slippery, and I mean the rocks aren't too bad. I can imagine when if it had rained they'd be really slippery, but the tree roots are somewhat of a challenge. And I've walked through plenty of rainforests before, but this one is just a little bit different. So I've come to the intersection of Dixon's track with Meander Falls track. We're going to be going to the right. Might do Dixon's track another day. Last part was a little bit confusing because there's a very well-worn track that goes down to the river. The actual track kind of goes off to the left a little bit, and I lost it for a second, but it's just a matter of backtracking, I suppose, and then finding your last marker and retracing the track. I admit I'm feeling a little deflated since I fell over. My leg's still a little bit sore. But like I said at the start though, I just have to remember to just slow down. I think that's everything is always just so fast. It's ingrained into us. Everything's got to be done by a certain time. Everything's got to be done at a certain speed. Never have time to sort of sit back and enjoy. But when something is so ingrained into you, it's part of your everyday life. It's so hard to unlearn that. This river is absolutely amazing. It's so clear. I've just come out into an area and there's a whole heap of Kingbilly pines, which are a fantastic looking tree. And the water is that clear that you just, if there was fish in there, you'd be able to count their scales, honestly. So I think I'm about halfway. It's becoming, I don't know if you'd say a little bit more challenging, but it's definitely going up a lot quicker. So it's getting pretty steep now. There's one marker there, one there, and then one up there that's pointing that way. So at least, well, I think that they're short, sharp inclines, hopefully. steps here. Hugging my nose. Jesus. I can definitely hear the falls now. I feel like I'm still a little way away, but I'm not really sure. There's a lot of little tracks that kind of go off to the side, and because the markers are sort of, you know, 20-30 meters apart, and sometimes the track can kind of curve in and out, you can quite easily sort of go in the wrong direction for a little bit, which is challenging, but at the same time, I guess it's just a matter of really keeping an eye out for those markers and not necessarily just following the track because it looks like it's well worn, which a lot of it is because people are going off track to get closer to the river. It's getting really steep now. Like quite consistently steep as well. Sort of moving away from the river a little bit now, still following the track markers. So this one here is Meander Crag. So I'm assuming then that Split Rocks track must go around. I'll have to double check my map in a minute. Almost there. This last part's pretty challenging. There's a lot of rocks, clearly. They're not really rocks that are easy to walk on. There were some parts that were really nice, like really good track. But this last part's pretty challenging. I found the turn off to Split Rock track. I still haven't decided about that yet. I'll see how I feel after I've had some lunch and a coffee, something to drink. Oh, I have so many spider webs. They're everywhere. Well, I made it. It took a lot longer than what I thought it would. The time is, I think I got here about 11:30, so it took me 3.5 hours. That's with filming and taking a couple of breaks. So I'm just gonna stop here, have some lunch. I think the walk does go down to the bottom of the falls. Oh, my pot's boiling. But I still need enough energy also to be able to get back. Sorry, this is not working. I bloody broke my tripod. Again. Alright. Got some 2-minute noodles. So I'm going to let them cook while I sit here and eat the other ones out of the packet. I got lots of snacks. I'm gonna admit this walk was not kind to me. But the end result was well worth it. The falls are really, really nice, but it was not an easy walk. I know in the book that it says, I think it says it's medium, but there were quite a few parts there that were, well, I'd class them as difficult. Some of the rocks, and it'd be interesting to see what the split rock track is going to be like. I think I'm going to give it a go. But I'm going to sit here and have a decent rest. I'm going to have something to eat. I'm going to have something to drink. And try and recharge a bit before I do that bit. Because I think it's probably going to be about another 3.5 hours. Because it did say allow 7 hours return. So that's what I'm going to do. Alright, so I've had my lunch, had a nice rest at the falls. Now I'm on my way back to the junction of the tracks. I think I've decided that I'm going to do the split rock track. Okay, so there's the sign. Let's give it a crack. Alright, so this time I'm following the yellow markers. It's pretty foggy up there. Okay, so I need to cross there. I need to find the marker on the other side to know which direction I'm meant to be going in. These rocks are going to be really slippery. I can't see another ribbon on the other side. Okay, so I've made the executive decision not to do split rocks track. I crossed the creek, which was sketchy enough. Then I got up the other side and it's literally like rock climbing. And I wasn't even halfway up there. Basically I got probably to about there. And then the fog started coming in. I could actually feel it. And I was like, I'm not going up through there without clear visibility. It's just not worth it. So now I have to climb back up this steep little bit and go back down Meander Falls track. But it's better to do that and be safe. And it's really weird because I felt anxious as soon as I crossed over the other side. Something didn't feel right, so I'm just going to call it. I'll do split rocks track another time. It's not far from home and I can just do it as a short walk, just do the loop. So my priority is getting home safe, so that's what I'm going to do. Okay, so I am 100% happy that I did not decide to do split rocks track, because the clouds have come in, and even on this side, the fog, I can feel it on me. So the fog and clouds are are rolling in, and I don't reckon I'll film much on the way back. I think I'll probably just hightail it. So this is what the fog is like. I would have been walking through that. Hell nah. I can't believe how quickly it's just come in, considering I was filming through here before and could see the mountains. Again, it just goes to show how quickly it can happen. Made it. Got back at 1:51, so it took me exactly an hour and 51 minutes, and that included going down, crossing the creek, and then coming back up, which was 10 minutes. So I can't say that I didn't like the track, because it was beautiful. And I don't think it was the track that was the problem. I think it was more so that I think I was probably anxious about the unknown. Like not knowing the split rock track, not knowing Meander track. I'd never been there before. And I mean, that obviously comes with hiking. You go new places and try new things. But I think because I knew that that part from Meander Falls across to Split Rock Track was going to be hard. So I think I was really anxious about that, which is probably what made me anxious about the whole walk. But then once I made the decision to not do the Split Rock Track, I felt heaps better. Coming back was a lot easier, and I don't know whether it's because I'd eaten heaps or I don't know, but either way, I'm going to come back and do Split Rock, because apparently it's really nice and there's 2 or 3 waterfalls there, so that'll be next time. There was lots and lots of rocks, lots of tree roots, and if you're going to do it, make sure you wear really good footwear, because without it, you'll be cactus. I'm glad I did it though, and the falls were 100% worth it. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time. Toodaloo.